why most ICOs are scams. It would be a wrong statement to say ICOs are scams. Yeah. But most ICOs are scams. And a study has been done, and they say 81% of ICOs are scams. Now, if you want to define the word scam, scam has to do with a system where you have two parties. This party fulfills the terms of a deal. The other party do not fulfill the terms of the deal. When you look at ICO investing, one thing stands out in ICO investing. Those investing and those to whom this investment goes to. If you look at crypto, there is so much gullible and uncoordinated activities that are going on in crypto that does not go anywhere. You've seen the G20 statement on crypto. We've seen the United States hearing on crypto, the Senate hearing on crypto and the ICOs and all that. You see some other countries outrightly banning and all that. And there are news that like saying that China could reconsider its status with blockchain and cryptocurrency and all that. You see some countries outrightly banning crypto. You see some countries, they are very soft and all that. Why are most ICO scams? We want to see that. The first one is the issue of regulation. So if you look at the normal IPO regulations and ICO, they are very different. A company, before you decide to conduct an IPO, your lawyers, you have to have lawyers. You have to have legal stuff that we advise you. Okay, this is the regulations. These are the do, these are the don't. These are the requirements and all that. When you come to crypto, there might be regulations, but if you look at some of the regulations that are related to ICO, if you look at them most times, the ones people follow are regulations that come with countries like US, China. There are other few countries that tell you, okay, you can't sell to our citizens because you don't meet this legal requirement. But if you look at most of them, there are little to no regulations. So that is one of the stuff you want to pay attention to. The issue of regulation, most of them are not regulated. And then, if you look at the way ICOs are being sold to people, it's different from the IPO. There are bodies that are vested upon with authority that, okay, you are the one that can actually sell on the IPO. When you look at cryptocurrency, anybody just set up a website, have a white paper, code a coin that will not take you days or whatsoever, you will give it to people. So regulations. All these are the stuffs you want to pay attention. You see, when the cryptocurrency market that is crashing now, one thing that is restoring in the mind of people is the need for thoughtfulness. Is the need to see things the way things should be seen. Another thing is the entry barriers. So the entry barriers when it comes to those who are investing and those who are seeking investment, the entry barriers are very minimal. And one of the stuffs you want to look at is like the issue, it's talking about the issue in the US. And I think there was a YouTuber who came and was discussing about the issues of gun control and all that. And talking about that the issue is not, we're not talking about it, but entry barriers. You don't just take a car and start riding on the road. That is why we have driving license. That is why there are some countries where there are specific periods you have to go back for training. They have to teach you stuff, so you don't just go and enter. When it comes to crypto, the entry barriers for investors and for those seeking investment is very, very minimal. There are platforms that free for all, and it has caused a lot of scams. So the entry barriers are very, very minimal, and those stuff people could exploit it. And then another one is the white paper madness. So all you basically need is set up your website, have your white paper. The white paper, if you look at most of these platforms, there is an issue of redundancy. So they keep repeating things. What we know about the Bitcoin, there is blockchain blot, transactions are slow. They keep repeating it, and it's like, these are unnecessary. You are reading 50 white papers. 50 of them are talking about the same thing. This is something we already know. So why should I read 50 white papers and see this kind of sense before you tell me what you want to do? So the white paper madness, all you just need to do is a white paper. These people don't have companies, that. And another thing is track record. Now there is something that comes to ICU investing. There are platforms on YouTube that tell you how you put your resources together and invest in ICOs. There are platforms that tell you that, ICOs, I will teach you how to make money and break all the money. Now, there are two things in life. One of them is, if the mind of someone is set on a particular goal, whether the goal is good for him or not, you might see what is likely to happen. If you tell the person and say, the way you are going about this thing is not good, the person takes you to be an enemy. It's like a lady going out with someone, and maybe you are on the sideline and you're saying, I don't really like the way you're going. Not that I'm against your relationship, but these two, you lay down, these are as clear as this. You lay down facts and all that. I don't know, you should just think about it and maybe make some adjustments. There are people who are going to break this. When you look at crypto, let's go to the traditional world, where Facebook came from, Google came from, and other platforms. If you watch those platforms, if you watch all these companies, MBNB and all of that, there is no single company that came that before. Do you know what it means to launch an ICO? Or to launch an IPO, sorry. You would have put your own money in use. We're not talking about time and money, track record, time, money, and then the numbers. That is, you're telling us this is where you're coming from. There's time. You're not just saying, you look at some platforms, the white paper, the roadmap. We wrote the white paper last year. Then now we are seeking the next phase, white paper. This is March, white paper, January. That is all about the company, white paper, January. Then you want to raise an ICO. Sorry, this is April. You want to raise an ICO, April. Come on. On a paper, on a piece of paper, it's a paper. Do you know how many ideas? Do you know how many ideas sink? Do you know how many businesses fail? It's very simple. It's life. Do you know how many people have? Work to someone who works in many job and they pay him $10. Maybe the homeless people, I know that. People who are not living well, I know that. Ask them. They have great dreams, great ideas. You know the ideas people have, the plans to change the world, they know that. Everybody has a plan. The question is the use of resources in time. So one of the things you should be looking for, but though it's something that is, the crypto these days is almost like a cult. One of the things you should be looking for is track record. What have they been able to do with their money? If I come to you today and I tell you, listen, I want you to give me money, I will invest it for you. or I want you to give me money. Okay, like, we're talking about investment now. I say, okay, I have an investment institution. Let's say this is investment institution. Do you know what you should ask me? What you should ask is, can you give me proven tracks? Can you give me records? Bring the records to show that you have been able to do something with your money. You have been able to do something with your money. That is the problem of the world today. We have our institutions. We have people who are teaching about business. They don't have any business. So, the time, we're talking about track records, the time, there has to be, this is where you are coming from, the time, you know that. The platform should not write a white paper in January, and then this is April, you want to raise money. So what have you been doing in the 3 months, from January to March? You've not been doing anything. So there has to be track record, the time. They have to put their time. Then they have to put their own money. They have to put their own money. Yeah, because an IPO, okay, this business has been doing well for some time now. Let's go public. That is when they come for IPO. We need public support. But in crypto, it's not like that. Then the issue of accountability. If you look at most of the ICOs that raise, when it comes to how they raise the ICO, most of them don't use third party. So, they become unaccountable, and most of them on the way. Then that one again is, most of the platforms, they are not, if you look at their accountability status when it comes to maybe putting it on Twitter or whatsoever, if you look at what they give account for, it's bullshit. Like, we are seeking to list on an exchange and this and that. Those are not concrete facts. Those are rubbish. You hardly hear that, oh, we're making a move to this. We just signed partnership. You hear a few platforms. More platforms, what they talk about is retreat our project. And we're listening to this message, which is bullshit. So the issue of accountability. And then why most ICOs are scams is the issue of pump and dump. So you go on YouTube, most of the YouTubers will tell you, hey, I'm passing over this project. I don't cover this project. See, there's something called the influencer stuff. So there are people who cover certain projects. The reason I cover a lot of projects, that doesn't mean all the projects are good. That doesn't mean the project I cover, they are good. That doesn't mean all of them are bad. No. But why most ICOs are scams are the pump and dump effect. A platform has solely a paper. And there is nothing like, okay, let's invest our money and keep our money with them for a certain amount of time, like 6 months or whatever. Why they develop this platform? A platform is raising money on empty paper. It's listing based on empty paper on an exchange. And then people are trading a coin that has empty paper. Come on! Those are scams. Those are scams, I'm telling you. Those are scams. That is why you will not see people in the real world. People want to come in and like, what's happening and all that. So, if you look at most of the ICOs, they are riding on the bubble. Most of the ICOs are riding on the bubble and hype. These days, you invest in an ICO, they just keep going up. So most of them are raising, like, what does it cost to raise an ICO? This. Everybody wants to raise an ICO today. I want to do this. Things that don't even concern, that things that should not even have the audacity to come before the public for anything are coming to raise money. So, these are some of the reasons. Then another reason again is the issue of allocation, the preferential differences and all that. So, if you like this video, like the video. If you think there are stuffs I didn't omitted or I did not say very well, feel free to comment below. By the way, I implore you to subscribe so that you get notification and all that. Have a nice day.